Alright guys, little update, and I might work on this a little bit. So basically, this is the rear end going in the D100, and the reason why is because the one I have that's in the Dodge, you know, that was a 5-speed truck with a little old V6 in it, 2-wheel drive, just a little D100, nothing special. This is my grandpa's work truck, and you know, when I bought the motor and trans, you know, I paid up for them a little bit because I knew I was going LS or something like that, LT. Decided to go with the LT just for different reasons, price-wise, and you know, wanted something reliable. You know, automatic-wise, you know, I got that, you know, the L80E, something like LT80E, something like that. I had to look back and look at it, but I knew it'd be dependable. I know it'd be a good, you know, solid, you know, maybe not a daily driver, but I want to have some fun. I got something with some power, and it's different. It's cool. So, anyways, you know, second thing I started looking at was the rear end, because I knew, you know, I hadn't even checked what that is, but I knew it was a, you know, from when I was younger, and I remember how driving it, I knew it had a crazy rear end. It's called a Chrysler 825. Same thing as this one. The only difference is this came out of a 92 D150. So I bought this from a guy in South Carolina. I drove a good bit because I was just going to rebuild the one that's in Old Blue. But you know, I got to looking at it and sending it somewhere, and it was, you know, it wasn't going to cost a crazy amount, and it would have been nice, but you know, I'm still trying to do this on some of a budget. You know, I want it done right. That's why, you know, it's taking me a longer time, because, you know, I'd rather wait and do it right than try to do it in a hurry and, you know, just not do it to what it deserves to be done to. But I still don't want to spend a crazy amount of money. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like too many projects, people either get where they don't work on it, they're not messing with it, so they get where they don't care about it anymore because money's an issue, or you know, money isn't an issue, and they lose interest because, like, it could be done like this. They just kind of like, I ain't that big deal. So something like this, you know, I'm doing it as I want to spend the money. You know, right now I could throw it together. I could drop some money on it and throw it together, but I don't want to. I want to enjoy the process, and I don't want to just knock it out and be done with it. I want to, like, you know, I want every time I come out here to work on it, it's for a reason. Like, I'm feeling like it's what I want to do. But you know, that's why when it comes to project cars, I always suggest, no matter what, whether you're waiting on parts or you're, you know, you've got the parts, you just ain't got the time, go out there, clean it off, pump up the tires, you know, sit in it, you know, just look around, just mess with it, or look online at some parts. You know, stay active in your projects. You know, if you don't, you're going to lose the interest, and even if it's something you're definitely going to finish because it's sentimental, you're never going to sell it, you don't want it to take too long. I always, when it comes to a project, whether it's something small like the Chevy Love, or something, you know, a big project that's gonna be in my life for the rest of my life, like Old Blue, I always set me a time frame. You know, and people ask, you know, how long is it gonna take? Are you gonna be done in a year? You know, are you gonna get that? No, I'm not. I'll tell you what I feel like I'm probably gonna do, but in my head I got the actual number. And that's just because I feel like if I tell somebody it'll be done in a year and it's not, we all know them people who, like, you know, it's like, oh, you said a year. Yeah, well, it's been 2 years. So for me, like, Old Blue's probably a 3-year project, 3 or 4 year project. You know, I'll tell y'all because for my viewers, and I don't care. But that's like all said and done. That's, you know, everything I want done. You know, I'm not doing anything else to it besides just keeping it up, and you know, a paint job maybe longer after that. But that's just something in the future maybe. But anyways, back to what we was talking about. So yeah, so this is the gear ratio on this one is I think it's 355, I believe. Easy way to tell is you can see the stampings on your, I think it's the ring gear. you know, y'all got phones, you can use Google. Or you can spin the tires, and one rotation of your tire. So like, let's say you start up top. This is how I always do it. I'll get some chalk or something like that, put a little mark on the tire, and then put a little mark on the bead of the fender or something like that. And, you know, have somebody else do it. You can do it, chalk the front, you know, and knock it in neutral, and spin your tire, and one full rotation of the tire, count how many times your drive shaft turns. So, you know, when I went, you know, I got all this, and I was, you know, kind of lining up stuff, you know, like a checklist, kind of like, even if I'm not going to buy it yet, just kind of things. I checked the rear end on Old Blue, and I called my buddy, and I was like, man, I ain't done this, you know, in a while, but this can't be right. And he's like, what is it? And I was like, I'm getting like 1 in 7 something. And sure enough, like the gear ratio on that thing is literally like 1.78 or something like that. I think that's what it came out to. I was like, what? But like I said, it was just it was a 5-speed, little old motor. It's a long bed. So, I mean, I was like, it's, you know, maybe that thing was just, you know, it was ready to run up, you know, on the salt flats or something. I don't know. So I knew instantly, like, we're gonna have to do something. So, you know, I went down looking to, you know, upgrade, or, you know, maybe just rebuild that thing. And I came to find, you know, this is why, you know, it's so important to like go down every avenue, especially for a project that you're not like got money to just throw at, you know, but you're fine with throwing some money at it, but smart wise. I found a guy who sells a bunch of Dodge parts in South Carolina, mostly D100, D150, Power Wagon, stuff like that. And he had this rear end, and I asked him, you know, this is a Chrysler 825. I asked him, I said 825 because, you know, I just wanted something I could literally just basically bolt right in. All the mounts are different, or the same and everything, but I knew that you could get them with different gearing. And so lucky enough, he said yeah. And you know, what I paid for this is about $180 less than what it would be to even buy the gears for that one, to get it to this point. So that's why I bought it, because I was just like, you know, let's say I get this, and I put it in there, and it takes a crap on me in no time. Well, I've got a whole nother housing if I want to build, you know what I mean? So, and if anything, I can go to a different route. I think I paid him $150 for this. I mean, but since then, I have tore it apart, cleaned it. It was disgusting. Cleaned it, put a new seal on the back right here, rubber seal, took all the bolts off. I highly suggest, if you don't have a parts cleaner machine or a subsonic vibrator machine that like cleans parts, you need to get one. If you don't, you can at least, you know, like, I mean, I'm sure y'all all have watched them videos on Facebook where guys do like the cleaning stuff, where they like take tools apart, or just anything apart, and they do a restoration on it. Well, I mean, that's what you need to do with stuff like this. I mean, it's so easy. You see each one of these bolts, I took them off and filed each end down a little bit to make it look, I mean, they look brand new, but they're not, and they're original. But yeah, you know, stuff like that. I did some wire wheel on the axle, cleaned it up real good. I've tore down the whole entire assembly. What I'm gonna work on today is trying to get these nuts off so I can replace these seals. That is the last thing I have to do before I can swap these. And I'm kind of waiting until I get this done to swap this in, because I'm gonna move Old Blue into the garage, and so I can work on it over winter. And I'm gonna swap the rear end, so the rear end will be done. That way, if I do decide to get around to going ahead and start working around with some bags for Old Blue, I already got the rear end I'm gonna have in there, so the suspension wise, so it won't change from when I'm done. But yeah, so I'm gonna get to working on this. You know, a rear end is one of the things that not many people, like when they're building a project car, they don't think about. They're kind of just like, you know, I'll just send it, and if something happens I need to upgrade or something like that, I will. But that's kind of my thought on it. Hope y'all enjoy. Let's mess around here. Let's see what we can figure out when it comes to the rear end. I have, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna do it. I have tried to get these off before, and I used heat. I used everything. Could not get them to come loose. I've tried to look up some tricks and stuff. Nothing. Most guys are just saying you just gotta mess with it. So I'm kind of, you know, filming this for the heck of it, but I'm probably gonna have to end up cutting them off. That's just what I feel like I'm gonna have to end up doing. I've tried literally everything else. I've heated them. I have. I put like the crayon stuff. I've tried that on a couple of them, and the bad thing is they're so close to the hub, you can't. They're so close to the hub that you can't get anything but a. So there's another thing that's weird about them. Like I mean, like I said, it's been months since I've worked on this, but I think I couldn't really get anything to fit perfectly. I probably need to, see, like that's a 15. Probably need to get maybe a higher quality set of wrenches that might have a closer. Yeah, see, like that's a 14. Oh, 14 might be it actually. Yeah, buddy. That might be it right there. That might be it right there. Okay. I'm not taking any chances. Like I said, I've worked and I have worked and I have worked on this thing. So we are not messing around. I think I might have to end up bolting this thing down. That's another thing. I kind of thought about putting it on the vehicle first, because then I can righty tighty, lefty loosey. Always remember that. I kind of thought about putting it in the vehicle so I wouldn't have to worry about doing this, but you live and you learn, and that's where I'm at. I'm kind of just like, well, I guess, dang, that is aggravating. I'm trying to figure out how I can do this without this thing rotating. I remember how I did it last time, I believe. Like I said, I could put it on the vehicle. I could. But my thing with putting it on the vehicle is well, there goes a straw. Putting it on the vehicle is, what if I can't get these off and I end up having to take somewhere? So, and we ain't doing all that, I will tell you that much. Let's see here. This is probably the first time y'all really got to actually see my garage. It's nothing special, but you probably see what I mean now about building a pole shed. You run out of room really quick. Dang. Ah, man, that's aggravating right there. But you run out of room very quickly, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm running out of room, and so I need somewhere I mean, all this stuff obviously ain't moving, but I need somewhere that I can just put all the stuff under the carport, and you know, some of this stuff will go to the pole shed, but you know, for the most part it won't. But that's why I said in one of the videos, like, you say what you will, but you gotta be able to. What are you doing? Okay, I don't really know why I was doing that for. Okay, well, I don't know how that worked, but it did. So it's just, that's pretty. See, like, I think that ain't even, so that, You see me banging on, and she just rounds her off real nice and easy. I'm definitely gonna have to cut them off. I've tried and everything else. I don't see any other way around it. That's about the third one I've cut off. I've had heat, I've had Crayola, I've had wax. I really don't know what else to do here. Let's see here, is this one missing? She's 4, okay. That's what I thought. All right, so let's get to cutting. I haven't bought a let's see, multi-tool. Have not bought a plasma cutter yet, just because I haven't really needed one yet. I will buy one day. Well, damn on. I put everything up. The storm, I hope everybody did okay through the storm. We didn't have much, just some shingles come off and stuff like that. Nothing like, Western NC. Really sad what they're going through right now, but I hope everybody who's watching this is doing all right. And that's one thing about a storm like that, I will admit, kind of shows. I had so many friends and stuff that didn't lose power, or they did, they had somewhere to go, and my wife was just kind of like, what if we need this, what if we need this, and I was kind of like, I guess we'll figure it out. Like, that's kind of how I am. That's kind of a perk of kind of not being a redneck, okay, but just being like a kind of a survivor / prepper, I guess you could say. I'm not really, you stay prepped not for any one reason. You just stay prepped just kind of just because you kind of enjoy it, and at the same time, times like that, you don't have a worry or a scare. You're just kind of like, it'll be all right. Because I know I've got everything I could do. All right, this is gonna be real aggravating. Come to think of it, I don't think I can do it that way. I was gonna just kind of cut the bolt off, but I believe, there we are. I still don't even know if this is gonna work, but that one's way too big or way too small. Like I said, we're gonna try this. I'm gonna try it on one of them. If it don't work, I don't know what to tell you. I've tried everything. I know that y'all are just seeing me try that, but I have tried literally everything, and this is what I've come to. And please don't take this the wrong way, but what this looks like, don't try it. It is kind of sketchy, but that's what makes it fun, is stuff being sketchy. Let's see here, we'll put you right here. It'd be the worst thing in the world. If I hit my camera, whew, I'd be tore up. All right, now let's try this. Again, I still don't even know if it's gonna work. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. So what I did is I just put a notch in it. I've done this before like this. Just put a small notch in it, and then we re-grab, and it kind of basically just makes it where there's not as much for the man, that thing is just on there. It's insane how much some things are on there. There we are. Now she's moving. That's what I was meaning, like, by putting a little notch in it, you're giving a spot. I don't really know how to word this, to be honest with you. You're basically giving a spot for some pressure to be kind of relieved. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Lord, I hope it works, because I've got 7 more to try to do. But, you know, that's a little trick that I don't think a lot of people use, just because they're kind of, usually something else works. Usually, especially on something like this, it really blows my mind why they're this bad. The only thing I can think of is I wish I'd have took before and after, and if I did, I will post them. But I wish y'all would have seen what this thing looked like before. Beforehand, it was horrible. And actually, let me just get y'all in here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making a notch. See, yeah, that's where I cut right there, and you can see the thread. Well, you probably can't see the threads, but you can see the threads to the notch. And see, I probably did nick the threads just a hair whenever I ground in, but that's what you're trying to do, is you're not trying to get into the threads that much, or at least I don't when I do it. I'm just barely getting into them, because I'm just trying to get a spot where you got some freedom, where the bolt or the nut can, you know, move around on it. All these things have blue Loctite on them. That probably helps. But like I said, I've heated them all. I mean, they've all been heated well up. It's crazy. Well, I believe I'm gonna repeat the process. If y'all see me, I'm gonna do a time lapse. If y'all see me over here with the angle grinder again, just close your eyes. All right, OSHA does not approve, but you know what? This ain't OSHA. This is Deep Impact Garage, baby. All right, guys, as y'all probably seen the time lapse. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't have to do this, what I did here. I didn't have to take them off. Yeah, missing one stud. This is absolutely disgusting from all the years of water, and it's been leaking for so long that I decided I was just gonna go ahead and take it off. And not to mention, they were so hard to get off that I was kind of like, if I ever need to get in there again, I don't want to have to be dealing with that. Plus, I just want this thing, like I said, I'm doing it right, so I want it to be perfect. So, as y'all saw on the time lapse, let's see here. And I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to see this real well. I don't know. You see these notches, right, that I've been making. I'm making notches. And on the inside, as you see, I got into the bolts, but see, there's a hole there, so it lets the bolt have a little bit of room. And you know, this one I didn't even get all the way through, but with the heat, and it's so thin right there, it gave it to move. This one, you see the hole. that last one, as you saw, it was not coming off. So I decided just to cut it off. It was rounded off pretty bad, as close as I could. Luckily, I got so close that it literally was this. I mean that's like an 1/18 of an inch or something like that. I mean, it's super small left. So just a little love tap, and it knocked that backing plate off. So I'm gonna try to get to the other side, at least get them off, where, you know, next time I come in here, I can just put gear puller on here, pull the axle tubes, take this out. I hadn't put no fluid or nothing like that there, but I just cleaned it and put it back. So take that back off. I don't even think I put sealant, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't even think I put sealant or nothing like that in there. I think I literally just, actually I'm about 100% sure I did, because that would have been stupid if I did. Well, if I did, you'll hear what I got to think about that, my stupidity. But yeah, so get in here, get this figured out, and get these seals in, and this thing will be rocking and rolling. But yeah, appreciate it. I will get back with you when I get the other side done. All right, guys, real quick before camera dies, I just want to show y'all this. You know, I took the pan off like I said I was gonna. Just FYI, man, whenever y'all put silicone, make sure to go inside. I'm gonna say it about 5 times, inside of the hole, inside, man. I always follow in between the bolt holes. When I get to one, I dip down and go below it and come back up. I mean, this inside, I mean, don't go crazy. That's why, you know, I did this and sealed it back up for nothing, basically, just because I thought I was kind of done with it, and then I realized I was gonna do these wheel seals. But I didn't go crazy with it, so it was super easy and quick for me to just clean it up real quick. It didn't take no time at all. That's just, you know, you're really helping yourself down the line. No, it ain't really, you know, my Dodge just did the transmission not long ago, and man, I would love to track down the guy that did it last. But anyways, I want to show y'all this real quick. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier about if you are looking for what your gears are, right there, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it says 3.55. That's my gear ratio, okay? It's always gonna be stamped on here somewhere. It's gonna be a 3 or 2, or in my case, you had a 1, but in the one that is in old blue. But I just want to show y'all that. I'm probably not gonna do anything else tonight. I just wanted to, you know, kind of show you what I've been up to on it. You know, I am messing with it. Really excited to get this thing, you know, project going during the winter. Y'all gonna see a lot of it. I'll probably be posting about it at least once a week, maybe. You know, maybe, and it's maybe more than that, honestly. I'm gonna be working on it pretty good, but you know, I'm really excited. I don't know if I had the hood on last time I took pictures of it and stuff, but hood's on now. It's gonna really piss people off, and it's kind of the whole point of it. My grandpa was a really great man, and you know, he wasn't even into cars or nothing, but I think he would even probably thought this is gonna be pretty sweet. This interior is pretty clean. I'm pretty excited. Okay, guys, so back at it again. Still messing with this rear end. As you saw a little bit ago, I cut these bolts off, mostly just because they were super. I'm basically gonna restore this whole axle. I'm gonna scrub it, do a little bit of rust repair, or not rust repair, but the stuff that eats away at rust, and paint it. So, you know, because like I said, this is not a project truck that I'm trying to knock out fast, as I said earlier. So I cut them off because they were blue Loctited, and I mean, I could not get them to come off. And that big deal, just put new ones on it. But like I said, this project, I'm not really, you know, still not trying to spend crazy money, but I'm replacing nuts and bolts. So now we're getting into, gonna try to get these axles out. I don't know if y'all see in there good, but this pin has to come out to allow the axles to come out. So what I'm gonna do is, and this is actually very nice at being out of the truck, because I can do whatever I want to easily. So I mean, that's why I like working on a project like this, doing it in kind of the process that makes most sense is it's really nice. So what I'm gonna have to do is, I guess I'm gonna have to rotate the drive shaft. Yeah, rotate the drive shaft until I get to where, there we are. I can take that little bolt, no, right there, it looks like it's probably like a 10 or something like that. Take that out, and in return, it should drop, well, yeah, I guess that's what we're gonna use. It should drop that pin out. Now this is, and I'm about to put some gloves, oh dang, tiny. I did do more research on Old Blue this weekend, or this week. Had some free time just to hang out and play on my phone, so still trying to get an idea of exactly what we want to do ECU wise, because there's a lot of options. I can go just real simple, just, you know, or I can make something that's kind of be kind of cool, and in the future I won't have to buy another ECU if I ever want to do anything different. Like I've said before, you know, I don't plan on ever selling this truck, so it's kind of like, dang, that is really tiny. I don't ever plan on selling the truck, so I'm kind of leaning more and more towards doing, well, I don't know, I really don't know. I've just kind of been throwing around the idea of doing some having a monitor, that way I can kind of see what I'm doing. Hey, picked the right one. Monitor, and I don't have to fool with the speedo or nothing like that on what's in it right now. But then again, when I think about doing that, I think about, well, it won't look original, but then I think, you know, it's my truck, I'll do what I want. So I don't know, really don't know yet. Dang, that won't fit either. Okay, 5/16. So we're gonna do 5/16. I do advise anybody that like is enjoying these videos and like you're kind of getting more and more where you're kind of like, you know what, I can work on some stuff by myself. Do not buy tools just because you want to buy tools. Buy them as you need them. I did the same thing. I bought a bunch of tools because I was kind of like, you know, that's a cool looking tool. I want that. But I promise you, just buy it as you need it. You don't need that tool. You can make it do. You know, I have a lot of tools that I have that I didn't really need when I got them, but they've saved me time. Oh man, dang, that thing's really tight. Let's see here, what if I do something like this, and then maybe get a brake with something to not spin the drive shaft over. Something like that. Dang, that thing's in there. Dang, that was actually a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I don't really know why, but I mean, it did have a lot of rust in it, so it could make sense. But let's see here, I'll just do that right there. And so what this does, as y'all can probably see, I'll get y'all in here. So this holds this pin in. This pin keeps where there's not a whole lot of movement. I don't know if I see I'm moving the axle in and out right there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it barely is moving. So this thing in here allows it where there's some pressure on it, and there's a pin in here that I'm moving with my finger right there. See, I'm moving that with my finger right there. That keeps the axle in here, because you got like, it's basically like a cotter pin or kind of thing, or a C-ring. See right there's the gap where it comes off. But this pin basically keeps it where the axles are being pushed out. They can't come in too much. And that pin keeps it where they can't just come all the way out. And so what I'm doing, and you gotta be careful, put my finger underneath it so it don't just fall down. I can feel it wanting to already kind of come off. Let's see, it moves now. Well, this is the kind of stuff that a lot of people are going to be scared about when you hear, you know, man, I need a new rear axle seals, and it will kind of scare people because, I mean, this is something a little sketchy, but I've done it underneath it, laying underneath the vehicle, so it's not that big, it's not that bad, but I promise you, it's not near. Let's see here. So I'm gonna rotate just a little bit forward, and there I can grab it. I can push it out. Let's see, maybe take that bolt out. Now we're gonna rotate it. I might be better off just trying to push it down. Actually, I think I will be. That's a good thing about these pins. You got a side that's going to have the bolt, but you can actually just either side. Well, maybe I just push it down as far as I can, and then see, there's more. Dang, this thing. I mean, like I told you. Oh, there we are. So it's good just to wear some gloves when you're doing something like this and just kind of be easy. All right, see. So it's literally just a metal little rod. Right there's your hole. And it locks in place. Put that over there, clean it up. And now you gotta be very careful because you don't have anything besides these pins holding the axle in now. And so, okay, yeah, okay. And so just for, this is your ring gear. Let me get a lot and I can show y'all where your pinion is. Let's see here. I used to have a bunch of lots in here, but I don't, oh, I know I can use this one, actually. Well, maybe. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is your ring gear. That's your pinion. Your pinion comes in, that's your first gear that's gonna touch everything. Ring gear, in turn, spins. I mean, you can probably see in there that this whole entire thing, we're gonna say thing, is sitting to where it spins everything else. And see, now you see how I can spin all four of them, and this is kind of, see, now we're kind of messing up because we can get that gear out of, see what I'm saying? See them get gear about popped out because this is how a rear differential works. I know y'all probably don't care, but this is the kind of stuff that I do find fascinating with vehicles. So the way a differential works, and I mean this is called a rear end rear diff differential, is so you got this axle. This axle turns. Notice how the top gear and the bottom gear move, but not this one. This is why when you turn, you don't have one tire just chirping away because it's getting drug around. Because a differential allows one wheel to be able to turn and the other one stays still. But when you're getting power going straight, it evenly, let's see if I can make it happen. It evenly, well, see, it's not gonna work because I got that pin out, but it evenly puts the power to both of them because you got a bottom and a top. But that's just kind of the cool stuff that's kind of that's a little interesting to me, is that kind of things, but we're not gonna mess with it too much. We're gonna get on to getting this out because I'm not trying to hurry, but I'm not trying to waste too much time. What do you think, Rye? You got my gloves? Okay, so think you have to, I think I need to bang, because you gotta get the slack off the axle. So I'm gonna come over here and just give it a little love tap. See how it went in? And then go to this other side. Give it a little love tap. And the reason why is because that takes the pressure. Remember that pin I had in there? That, look, this one actually basically fell off by itself. Yep. See right there? Yeah. It takes that pin keeps it where them can't do that, or the axles can't go in like that. I bang it out, or bang them in like that, and it makes it where it can just fall. These will just come right out. You do probably, it helps. That's the other side. I didn't spin it the other side. But now here's for the fun part, the part that isn't very satisfying, but really sucks because you make a mess. That's why gloves and a drip pan are highly important. But, and you know, I mean, as you're watching this now, I know people, a lot of people will do this. And see, I'm gonna go ahead and put my hand underneath it because I don't want to fall. Yep, see. And you can see how, this is where you see them videos of guys who park it in a dang, see the rust right there that was in the barrel? I mean, they were bad. Seals were bad. Bearing ain't bad. But yeah. Okay, so that's out. That one's out. And see what I was saying? I'm missing a stud there, so it was nice just to go ahead and tear this thing down. It's not got too much wear. Show y'all. This is where your bearings will wear on your axle. Mine's not too bad. There's still a lot. There's no lip. It's not that you can't sit, that ain't a changing color where it's got real hot. If your bearings go bad, what'll happen is you'll have, these will not spin, or if they, you'll lose some. Mine looks fine. You do see there's some rust on this axle, so I am going to have to maybe clean it real good and gently sand it down. But all right, let's go to the other side, rip it out. Luckily, there's not too much oil or nothing like that coming out because I did, you know, it's been cleaned. But yeah, I definitely need to, when you pull these out, make sure you're holding them up. You do not want to let the splines straight up. Okay, let the splines just slide on it. You want to make sure that it stays kind of centered up and all the pressure's right here. The splines ain't grinding as I'm pulling it out. Well, we are now, but not trying to. Everything looks good. Most of this kind of stuff's got cross hatching from where it was machined. So I mean, it's kind of easy to tell if they're wore out or not. Same thing with this one. Looks like nothing's gotten hot or nothing. It's wild that both of these are missing a stud. That's kind of weird. But now we can pop that off. You know, like I said, didn't have to take these off, but or cut these nuts off and stuff. But I'm already in here. It looks like, for some reason, why is it? It looks like, but both of them might have had one at one time and got cut off. There's a little indentation there, and there's supposed to be on the backing plate. There's another one, so that's kind of weird. But okay, well, this is make it very promising here, because I'm not seeing anything besides, you know, things that like the bearing and the seal, which is, I mean, just over time it's going to happen. They're the only things that look bad. You know, I mean, these still roll good. So I'm not upset at all. I'm super, I was very worried. Like I said, this thing sat in some water and was really rusty. And I've done the best I could without tearing into it to get it. Well, that's the only thing about these things. These little picks are junk for anything but using a little pick. I know this is probably not very exciting episode, but I do appreciate y'all watching it. Whoever is watching it, this is the kind of stuff that it does interest me. I like to figure out how things work. And what damn lame, man. Okay, guys. So I got it out. Took a minute. So that thing sits in there like that. You see it barely grabs the outer of the axle. So usually you can pry it a little bit and get to move, but I worked and I finally just poked a hole through it. And then be careful, don't hit the, I think they're called rakes or something like that. I think that's what they call them. I think that's what they call that ledge. But here's the bearing. As you see, it's perfectly fine. I don't see it really. There's no movement, no discoloration. I could take it out and put a new one in, but honestly, I may just, I don't know, I might just leave it. I might do a little bit of research and see how much they are, and things like that. But I've always been, the seal is what can go bad. These, honestly, they only go bad if you allow these to go bad and let it get hot. So, metal that's lubricated correctly and doesn't get too hot and to change and deformation is fine. So, I might just change the seal. But, yep, that's her. That's what we was after. Now it's time to order a couple new ones put in here. And we'll get back to finishing up on the axle refurb. This is something that, like, if you've got a vehicle that, most people don't ever replace the axle. Even if you're building a project car, you'll usually just roll with what you got. So this kind of stuff is very important, because you don't want, if you're not going to replace your axle, you want it to be in tip-top shape. So you want to have, it's not leaking for sure. All the gears are looking how they're supposed to. There's no chips, no nicks. There's no foreign material in it. You want it to be tip-top shape. So this kind of stuff is important. You need to know how to do this kind of stuff, or at least know how to go about looking. So again, this is the good thing about vehicles. A lot of times they're remotely kind of the same. I've never dug into a Dodge rear end, but I now have. I had a 2002 3500 that I did, but that's it. But made some progress. I will update y'all when I get the seals in. I plan on doing a big order on seals for the rear end. And yeah, seals for this. I already have all the stuff for the brakes. I'm pretty sure I got to look back. Pretty sure I have everything for the brakes. I'm gonna order for the dump truck. It's rocking and rolling. I used it this weekend. I actually hauled some bushes off. So it's rocking and rolling how it's supposed to. The only thing with it, I think I do need to do, still need to change the oil on it. And I need to do something about the brakes. And I've got some tires, like I had said earlier in another video, some tires I might be putting on it. But yeah, that's the update on it. Chevy Love, she rocking and rolling. I am gonna buy that other caliper that I've been talking about buying for a couple weeks now. And I'm gonna buy it, put it on. And the Love's basically done. I got some interest in it. Might be selling it or doing kind of a trade with my dad. But it's been fun and everything. But like I said, I get it to where I want to. I'm like into it hardcore in the project until I'm kind of over it. Pole barn, I will give y'all an update on it. I probably won't put another video out for it till it's done, just because right now I'm to the point where I can just rock and roll through it. I will show y'all real quick. You know, you can call this the, I don't know, the D100 axle video with update on everything, but I will give you an update on the pole barn because it's not really worth, you know, doing a video about itself. But I have started with my runners. As you see, put one, run a line to keep me even on the fronts. That way the front is even all the way down. Like I said, this comes in some, so I don't know how far back they're gonna run, but as long as this front side's even, the back one should be even. But I mean, yep, that's the update on it. I'll probably knock out majority of it besides maybe putting the tin on probably this week, honestly, this weekend. But that's it for this time. I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate you learning a little bit, you know, how stuff like that. I'm excited to get this thing in the garage and get to really messing with it. This is such an awesome truck. It's going to be such a fun project. But I appreciate it, guys. And if y'all have any suggestions again that you want me to do or get into more, you know, just let me know. I'm open to opinions and critics. I welcome critics. They're funny to me. But I appreciate it, guys. And Deep Impact Garage out. See you next time.